What is up, bros and broskies? BeastmodeGuNs here, and I am here with a Supreme Commander Forged Alliance live cast. For those of you who don't know, which aka my channel regulars, a live cast of a game as well. I think it's pretty simple. You know, you're just mainly in Supreme Commander Forged Alliance is where you commentate a replay of a game, or you commentate a game or whatever that's actively being played by other people, and upload a video of it. Very simple stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna check the options here quickly, and I'll get right to it. Alright. I don't want it to be too loud because my settings are a bit mean to me, so I'm just turning it down. Alright, so yeah, here we are on Crossfire Canal, or as some people call it, pizza, I guess. Because, well, I didn't really think about it, but the islands actually kind of look like pizza. You can like pizzas. You can see the this and that. And anyway, that aside, though, we have two very high-end players playing here today. We have ZLO as the red Cybran up top, and Zock as the blue Aeon at the bottom. And I don't usually play too much, nor do I really follow the imba players too much, so I'm just gonna commentate this like any other game with whatever is in my capability, and I have not done it for a few years, so we shall see what is going on. I would like to thank TA for Life for spotting out this live replay for me at cast, because as I said in one of my previous update videos here on my channel, that I would be streaming some Forged Alliance again. Anyway, this match is about 41 minutes long, so we're just gonna, 51, my bad, so I'm just gonna speed this up a little, and we're gonna get right into it. Got a Zock down here going for the, with the Land Factory PJ, and then going for air after that. Putting out engineers, doing all the mass and energy reclaim. ZLO looks like he's doing the same. I think I did say Zock for the bomb, yeah. This map is all about air control, naval control, and most importantly, gaining as many expansion islands as possible, because normally this is a 6-player map, so each expansion island is a good amount of mass, but it's also one more point you have to defend, because you can tell the mass points on each island are all spread out, so it's not that easy. So yeah, appears we've got the air factory up here and some transport from ZLO, and he's building a second air factory, so he's hoping to go for early air dominance. Zock, he's doing the air scout and transport, so yeah, they're each rolling transports to get the all the mass around here, and the hydros as well. These two islands and these two islands. And then they just got all the reclaim going as well. As I said, I'm going to turn up the sound a little bit. Anyway, as I said, I don't really know much about Zock, though. From what I hear, he does give out like lessons to people who get like first place in some of the tournaments that are hosted on IFFnet. Ooh, it looks like there's some combat. Where is that? I think it looks like ZLO got the a kill on one of Zock's land scouts. So first blood goes to ZLO. Got a some transport drops on for both sides, gaining mass. A bomber from Zock going over here to try and kill some of these expansion engineers, it looks like, but there's going to be 2 interceptors here from ZLO to meet it, so it's not going to be very effective. So we'll see if it gets lucky. He was able to get the bomb off. It looks like the interceptors were slow to respawn, but ZLO was but quick thinking from ZLO allowed him to load his engineers into transport before the bombs came, so his engineers were all safe. ZLO's going for the mass air spam here. He wants air dominance, and I think he's going to start. Yep, he's teching several mass extractors right now, and right now it looks like ZLO's going to have the early air advantage here, but right now, as expansion-wise, I think Zock might have a current edge. And Zock's going for both sides are going for their second expansion islands. Right, so they're going top bottom, it looks like. And yeah, this shall be I think this should be quite an interesting match we got here. A little attempt at harassment from Zock trying to shoot down that transport, but it's a bit pointless with all these interceptors there. He does shoot down the transport, but there's no engineers in it, so it's kind of worthless anyway. Just veteran see. Zock doesn't really have much unit production going on here. I'm not sure what he's going for. Okay, see where his ACU is. He's moved his ACU to expansion. It looks like he's I'm curious what he's doing here. He might be making some auras. That'll be curious to see. His economy, as you can tell, is doing pretty well. He's getting some good reclaim, picking up a lot of energy. And Zock is doing not so good on mass. I'm not sure he's spending on. I think it's a lot of I think he has a lot of mass upgrades going on. That might be it why. Yeah, it's hard to tell really. Yeah, well, minor air battle going on. Zock, ZLO just overriding everybody. And excuse me if at some point in the match I confuse ZLO and Zock's names or I call the wrong names. Oh, this is nice here. It looks like Zock's going to push some auras here on the left side and down the middle as well for harassment. So it looks like Zock's going to take advantage of his Aeon capabilities on the map. Very nice. But what he needs to do is find some kind of way to fight back against ZLO's mass air spam. Otherwise he's going to be at disadvantage and gunships and bombers will just start killing Zock's capabilities after a while. Zock's trying to put out interceptors, but he's outnumbered on a lot. And it looks like we have a frigate up from ZLO, so it'll be very interesting to see what's going on. It looks like he's already killed 3 tanks with it, and he's just going to keep those tanks back. So those tanks already have some problem here down the middle. But the Zock's tanks here on the left side, just rolling right up, trying to do as much damage as they can. ZLO has a Tech 2 land factory here making rhinos, and those should be able to suppress auras if Zock isn't careful of his macros, so that'll be interesting to see. This frigate over here just murdering auras, and Zock's not responding to it in any way. It looks like we got a Wagner here crossing the border, the water line at least. Look, so far from the looks of it, ZLO has better unit control early on. At least as far as air is concerned, but air is very important with him because unless Zock just brings out like Tech 2 mobile AA, then ZLO is going to have a pretty good advantage here early on for now with these gunship harassment and defense he's going to start working at. And right now this looks like, I think one of the frigates here, I think a frigate got shot down, I'm not sure. I can't really tell. Yep, and there's a frigate up from Zock, and a gunship now coming in, just getting ready to just murder these NGs, maybe from ZLO, but that doesn't look like that's going to happen. Got auras. Oh no, there's the frigate from earlier. Those auras here do kill the frigate, but not after it gets about a good 15-16 kills. This Renegade does kill several engineers here and gets shot down by Zock's air, because Zock does have a little bit of an air force now, so maybe we'll see an interesting air battle between Zock and ZLO on the left side. On the right side, just some minor aura harassment with gunship action. Nothing too much on the right side, mainly small harassment. Some auras killing a naval factory here, but this Renegade gunship with its area of effect missiles will prevent that. Both sides currently at a stalemate as far as the main naval and air warfare goes. ZLO is pushing up one frigate, but that's going to get destroyed by a frigate and a submarine from Zock, and Aeon Navy does have a bit of an edge over Cybran when it comes to firepower, so that'll be interesting. Zock looks like he's going heavy Navy now, overall up to up to 6 naval factories going on 7, and it looks like ZLO's going RAS, so we'll check how his economy is doing here. His economy is doing very nice. Oh, he's paused the upgrade for now. And he's just spamming the Tech 1 interceptors. So that is interesting to see. Zock rolling his air around, and looks like he's building some gunships. Maybe he's going for a snipe, maybe he's going for a push. That'll be interesting. Meanwhile, Zock's controlling the middle with some auras and frigates. He's going to meet some resistance from some Wagners. Well, actually, he can't really do anything about that because Wagners, unlike Riptides, go underwater. So those Wagners are just going to bypass him. But any of all these frigates that come up here are just going to get killed. And big air battle here between Zock and ZLO. Well, not air battle, but more like air standoff. It looks like Zock got a few kills and ZLO backed off. It looks like Zock is picking up the capabilities, and it looks like ZLO has a few transports over here. He might be going for a drop down here somewhere. Would be pretty if he could slip in like over down here. It's not too much anti-air capability here, so he would be able to sneak in a little drop, maybe drop the factories here at the very least, and he's going for it. He's going to make a drop here, and meanwhile frigates in the middle from ZLO engaging Zock still, but outnumbered versus frigates and auras. It's just not going to happen. And it actually appears that these transports are dropping right on top of his Zock's Tech 2 land and his Tech 2 power, so that's going to cripple Zock a little bit as far as his Tech 2 air goes, and we'll see what his economy ends up being like. Meanwhile, ZLO is pushing Wagner amphibious tanks against Zock on his left side, and Zock's going to try to counteract that, but Zock's left side is actively open with more drops from ZLO and some torpedo bombers now taking the field from ZLO. So ZLO's trying to take back away loss as far as capability goes, and right now Zock has a lot of gunships here. And let's see, Zock is still doing alright for power. I'm not sure if he's built in our factories, their T2 Pigeon somewhere, or if he has his own RAS. And a nice drop from ZLO right into Zock's main starting base, so that's going to be a lot of Tech 2 mass gone bye-bye if Zock can't do something about it right now. A lot of energy being destroyed here. Zock is just bleeding energy from all these drops, and he has to pick up his recovery about best he can. Battle going on the right side between some Blazes and some Wagners. There's a shield here, and but it looks like Wagner has the edge here. Does kill this Blaze, and the rest retreat. Although this is Zock harassing ZLO's island. A lot of air harassment in the middle. Frigate for ZLO getting wrecked. A lot of Tech 2 air for ZLO trying to kill Zock's frigates best he can, but Zock has a large amount of frigates, and Zock is pulling in his own air now. Zock, meanwhile, struggling on the left side to keep his mass and factories intact versus drops from Medusa artilleries and Wagner amphibious tanks from ZLO. The gunships are going to repel it though, but the damage is already done. This mass extractor here will survive, but several mechs and factories have already been killed. A lot of air scouts from ZLO, so he's up to something. Hope 3 more drops coming, 3 more transports with drops coming down from ZLO. Zock really has to pay attention, and it looks like he is going to catch one here, some Tech 2 combat fighters, but it'll be important to see if he can catch the other 2, and it looks like he does not see the other 2, so they're going to come through and cause more trouble for Zock. And gunships from ZLO facing off against interceptors and gunships from Zock now. A lot of Zock's interceptors are currently out of fuel, which should put him at a massive combat disadvantage in an air battle, and to a certain extent anyway. And ZLO's air is just sitting and chilling, while meanwhile Zock's controlling the top middle canal with many frigates. Several more drops down here on the bottom. More of Zock's Tech 2 power being destroyed. Gunships are trying to counteract it, but Zock has lost at least 2 power, and Zock's going to lose all 3 of his power generators down here. It looks like Zock is now just struggling for energy. Zock has lost the majority of his energy. ZLO is just going mad with hot drops in this one, and it's working. And Zock is going to lose his edge here if he can't pick up his economy. ZLO sitting pretty with RAS with ACU RAS while on a 5.8k power, while Zock is sitting at a mere 300 now. Very troublesome for Zock. ZLO now going to pull a massive edge against Zock, and also the mass difference as well. Zock only has 42 mass, and ZLO has 159. ZLO can potentially make the comeback and carry this game now, if he plays it outright and avoids harassment from Zock. He does have Tech 3 gunships now. He can start making ASS if he wants. He's making Tech 3 heavy gunships, so he's just going to stop. They're just going to stop any attempt at from Zock to push up. Zock should have made. Oh, Zock does have Tech 2 Navy here. But he has no power right now. Zock has to fix his power issues, get some cruisers up, so he can counteract the air supremacy coming in from ZLO. And right now ZLO is just rolling scouts full circle around all of Zock's territories, keeping eyes on him at all costs. Zock pulling his naval in full retreat for who knows. Still some Wagner harassment with gunships trying to prevent it on the left side. Frigates getting just decimated by Tech 3 gunships on the top right. A couple frigates snuck through here, but they're not going to be able to do anything. A lot of Tech 2 torpedo bombers over here as well. And AFSF's starting to hit the field from ZLO. ZLO having a massive advantage right now, thanks to his clever harassment against Zock's economy. And we'll see if Zock can recover from that and strike back. I think ZLO's done with the drops for now. So yeah, air battle going on up here on the right side, but Zock at disadvantage versus tier 3 air with tech, using a few of his combat fires he has. He does shoot down one ASF, it looks like, but he loses the rest, and his interceptors can't do anything because they're out of fuel, so they'll just be outran anyway if they try anything. Tech 1 bombers and Tech 3 gunships coming down on Zock's territory from ZLO. There is some Tech 2 flak here, but it might not be enough. So let's see how this happens. It appears Zock does have a cruiser, so he might be able to fend off these gunships here, depending on ZLO's targeting. ZLO should have targeted this cruiser, and he does now, and he kills it. There's a second cruiser here, though, and ZLO does lose 2 gunships for actually 4 gunships. ZLO loses nearly all his gunships for 1 cruiser, with 2 surviving, and they just go over here and harassing anyway. Just like, oh, nothing to see here. Just gonna back off. Zock is pumping out cruisers now. This is a very good thing for him because he has the naval advantage. If he can bring out cruisers and maintain naval control, then Zock might be able to turn the tide or at least hold the line. And so far that's looking possible here. 3 cruisers up from Zock, and a lot of Tech 2 mobile flak rolling around all his expansion islands now, so that is pretty good for him. Some more Wagners here pushing up on the right side from ZLO. They're going to be greeted by some walls and some Tech 2 units from Zock, and possibly a point defense as well. So yeah, all these Wagners are just going right back in the water because their route is blocked. I don't think there's going to be any dead Wagners here. Zock's a couple of Zock's tank blazes going up against some Wagners up here from ZLO, but outnumbered, so they lose. Heavy Tech 3 gunships over here wailing on Zock's left expansion again, doing what they can, getting some kills, killing a few mass points here. It looks like 1 or 2 of the gunships have been killed, but they're just backing off, retreating, harassing best they can. Zock has his own Tech 3 air now. It looks like he is making a recovery on his economy, but ZLO still basically has double his economy in energy, and it looks like they're pretty. It looks like they are now pretty evened out on mass. But Zock did get RAS, I think. Let me check on it. He's currently getting RAS, it looks like, on a Tech 1 ACU, so that shouldn't be too hurtful to his economy. More Wagners attempting to just get some kills, and it looks like they'll succeed. They are splitting up here, so to make sure that Zock will lose some things here, and might work. ZLO's Air Force is sitting completely idle here. Really, Zock should be moving his cruisers right on top of them, kind of just intimidating them. But actually, never mind, because there are Tech 3 air superiority fires there. You want to have at least one cruiser right over here, and just watching these, so that way they can return fire. These the mobile AA flak artillery are doing their best they can to fire on them, but they move too. But the Tech 3 air superior fires move too fast. A gunship force from ZLO over here just prowling through Zock's Tech 2 mass, trying to get the economy advantage. He does kill a few Tech 2 mass extractor and picking off everything they see just on a murder spree. And they're currently uncontested, except now they are meeting a few air superiority fires, which will die to a reinforcement group of air superiority fires from ZLO. So really it comes down to Zock's ability to spread his cruisers out. His cruisers do get a few ASF kills, but no gunships. So that is a bit unfortunate. TML up from ZLO. It looks like he is going to bomb some of Zock's mass even further. There are some Tech 2 mass right here that can be sniped. So Zock's going to lose out on that. Tech 2 gunships from Zock getting... the Tech 2 gunships from the Zock were... looks like they were used as bait, as now ZLO's losing all his Tech 1 air. And while it's only Tech 1 air, really he should just control K that, because now these cruisers are gonna... Now his cruiser has all this veterancy, 3 stars in this one, 1 star in this. Overall, a good 60 or so kills. And, I didn't notice this. Soul Ripper from ZLO prowling through Zock's territory now. Zock has to make the best use of his cruisers and any air he possibly can to shoot that down. This cruiser will be able to put up a 5 to veterancy it gets, but without a good amount of support, of anti-air support, though, these cruisers will go down more likely than not. Though cruisers are the strongest thing against Tech 3 air, besides Tech 3 SAM launchers and so on. Zock is grouping up his cruisers. He only has 5. I'm not sure it'll be enough. I really need to pay attention more. I do apologize. Zock does have a Tech 3 naval up. He is making missile boats, so he wants to start hammering back at ZLO to do as much damage as he can. And yeah, this Soul Ripper just running behind Zock's base. If Zock tries to move his cruisers in, ZLO can just go right across to the main base. And I don't think Zock has much SAM. ASFs are getting picked off by Zock. Good positioning by Zock, bad maneuvering by ZLO. A lot of torpedo bombers coming in. They might kill 1 cruiser, but they'll get shot down pretty easily. No, they don't even kill 1 cruiser. Oh, this is nice. It's interesting. So yeah, it looks like the missile cruiser is firing off what it can, but it's only hitting Tech 1 mass, so it's not too much useful. The Soul Ripper just hanging around, not really doing much. Zock still trying to contest the naval front there on the left side. Things seem to have gone a bit quiet. It looks like ZLO's gonna start doing artillery drops again, and he has ASS ready to back him up if anything goes wrong with that. It looks like ZLO has lost most of his actually no, this was my bad, this was previously Zock's expansion. It looks like Zock has lost his middle left expansion to ZLO, so Zock has gotten overrun there by all the gunships harassment. And it looks like another drop from ZLO. But it looks like Zock picks this up and he snipes it and he's taking it down. Really, it looks like while Zock still has the possibility to pull something up. Oh, it looks like the Soul Ripper is pushing in on Zock's Tech 3 naval. There are a few cruisers here, but most of Zock's anti-air is not here. This Soul Ripper just getting so many engineer kills right now. The Soul Ripper immediately picking up 2 stars worth of veterancy, just going on a killing spree with these engineers. It looks like it might meet its end here, but no, it's going to pick up a 3rd level of veterancy. And now ASF's coming in from ZLO, I don't see Zock being able to pick up this Soul Ripper kill. He's just feeding way too much veterancy to this Soul Ripper right now. The Soul Ripper is retreating because ZLO knows it is in danger. Gunships coming in over here from ZLO, trying to strike Zock's main base, but to no effect. And more torpedo bombers trying to cull the amount of Tech 2 cruisers to no effect. Zock's Tech 3 Naval Factory HQ is still in attack, so he's still making cruisers within. He has a little Lyasalpa. Just assume this is the good luck Lyasalpa. I like that. Let me see if I can name it. Alright, seems not. Well, it's a replay, so that makes sense. But that'd be pretty amusing. I mean, it's just cute to see it there. So yeah, Zock pushing a missile ship and a lot of Tech 2 cruisers up the middle. Looks like about 8 Tech 2 cruisers and some support frigates and torpedoes and submarines. My bad. It looks like ZLO has a second Soul Ripper. Really, he could probably just roll over Zock now, but he's holding back, just teasing him mostly. It looks like. That's a TML action on the left side, on the right side from ZLO, picking off Zock's Tech 2 mess. And let's see if this one hits the shield. Nope, it still hits Zock's mass, also killing one tank. It looks like. Tech 2 torpedo bombers coming down the middle, trying to snipe down the missile ship, but some of them do make a second pass, but still not enough. A second wave coming in. Looks like they will be enough to strike down the missile ship. Actually, no. But more are coming out. Plus, here comes the Soul Rippers, so this missile boat will die. But it looks like this new Soul Ripper is about to get wrecked. Really, Zock should be pushing his cruisers over right now. If he was moving his cruisers forward, he could have shot it down, but he wasn't aggressive enough right there, so those two Soul Rippers are both going to survive. One with no veterancy at 3.5k health, with one at 3-star veterancy regenning from a 6.7k. Some aura harassment on the left side here versus some Tech 1 mass and some Medusa artilleries. Another drop from ZLO, possibly. Oh nope, just some oh yeah, just some engineers coming in, maybe Tech 2-point defenses, perhaps. The Tech 2 TMLs over here still making their work, but Zock has a TMD here now, so that's gonna be that's gonna be negated. The Blazes down here are doing what they can, killing some NGs, but right now Zock needs to be macroing them because the Medusas are just picking them off now, so they're both gonna die. This one right here, though, did sneak over to one of the factories and is shooting it down, but very slowly, as Blazes aren't exactly strong units. And a little interesting thing here, it looks like Zock has a lot more mass currently than ZLO does. He's still lower on energy, so yeah, it looks like Zock is getting back up there to the best of his capability. And let's see what he has going on. Another missile boat, more cruisers coming up. And is this? Yep. And meanwhile, he's also ninja producing some more air superiority fighters. And it looks like ZLO now has 3 Soul Rippers. He's going to go in for the kill eventually, but for whatever reason he just hasn't already. He's going to come around the rear side here and wipe out Zock's right expansion. I mean, Zock has a commie right here, so he should be building more weapons to counteract these Soul Rippers. Right now there are 3 Soul Rippers, and ZLO currently has the upper hand as such. Well, because I mean, it's not too hard to outmaneuver cruisers with air, as long as in an open map like this anyway. Unless you split up your cruisers, in which at that point Soul Rippers can just pick them off. Looks like there is some units here from ZLO trying to harass and kill Zock's TMD and TML, but that does not work. Currently, Tech 3 ASFs being used as to quickly scout Zock's middle right expansion or bottom right expansion. The Soul Rippers coming in now, just making short work of Zock's expansion base, and Zock will be helpless to do anything about it. He might kill this one Soul Ripper. Might. And no, it's going to survive with a very low amount of HP. And yes, and now the original Soul Ripper has 4 stars of veterancy. That is a very big no-no, and that is something Zock should have worked against. And now ZLO has stepped up his TML attacks, just launching rapid-fire TML strikes against Zock, and it's just, from what it looks like, it's just crippled Tech 3 power from Zock and some other buildings, and it's now just picking off his Tech 3 mass. And now Zock's going to lose much of his power again. He does have TMDs here finally, but too little too late. He did lose some of his Tech 3 power again, but he's still up there. Zock pushing his navy down the right side again, but it's being greeted by several harms Tech 3 torpedo systems. Right now, ZLO's air force has been split up, and it looks like some of its forces have been killed by cruisers. Several cruisers over here trying to negate the Soul Rippers, but it's just not working out. And the Soul Rippers going straight over Zock's starting base, just destroying everything there. Zock's ASFs are coming in, picking up on one cruiser, and it appears that ZLO's been defeated. I did not notice this, but there were some strat bombers that Zock was building. I really should have paid more attention to that. My apologies there. As I said, I am a bit rusty, but from what it looks like, just to sum up, it looks like Zock was able to distract ZLO's air force and just go straight in for a strat bomber snipe. Looks like all the strats died, but he got his objective. As a result, it is GG for ZLO, and Zock pulls out the clutch scenario. I say clutch because, I mean, ZLO just could have kept rolling out Soul Rippers and just could have kept rolling out Soul Rippers around with this veterancy if Zock didn't do anything. And as long as he was careful with the cruisers, he would have just eventually killed all of Zock's expansions anyway. Actually, he nearly wiped out all of Zock's bases too, so, and still had most of his expansions intact here. So yeah, pretty good clutch from ZLO. I mean, from Zock, my bad. GG to both, and that's about it. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'm BeastmodeGuNs, and peace. See you next cast. Peace.